Most of the Seven are egomaniacal and selfish narcissists that can't help but get themselves into the media spotlight. Bleck Noire is a different story entirely, however. The world of Amazon Prime's hit show The Boys, and the comic that spawned it, offers a very dark and nihilistic take on a world inhabited by superheroes. The heroes, if you can even call them that, do a lot of the typical superhero stuff, such as stopping robberies and terrorist attacks. Unfortunately, a lot of the superhero antics are just an act, however. Simply a way to garner good PR to the benefit of the hero's corporate overlord, Vaught International. Two of the main superheroes under Vaught's umbrella are the Golden Boy, Homelander, as well as the dark-suited ninja, Bleck Noire. At first glance, you'd think these two would be polar opposites of one another, but they have a lot more in common than you may think. In the world of The Boys, Homelander is seen as the ultimate example of a hero. Charming, brave, and undeniably heroic. All the qualities you would want and expect from the world's greatest superhero.
Don't stop!
Except that in reality, he represents none of that. He is a selfish narcissist, only interested in whether or not the masses view him favorably, which is probably the only thing that just barely keeps him from snapping on a daily basis. Homelander has your regular suite of superhero abilities: flight, super strength, super speed, heat vision, X-ray vision, basically the standard Superman archetype. In many ways, Bleck Noire is the polar opposite of the Superman wannabe Homelander. He's quiet. Deadly quiet, in fact, never speaking aside from a few grunts during action. Noir also wears a black suit with his face covered, in stark contrast to Homelander's bright and colorful outfit with his American flag cape draped behind him. Bleck Noire looks, and for the most part acts, more like a ninja than your typical superhero, certainly when put side by side with Homelander. If Homelander is the Superman of the Seven, then Bleck Noire is obviously the Batman of the Seven. So that's it, right? These two are effectively just work colleagues who like to dress a little differently. That's all. Well, by the end of Season 2 of The Boys, that may not be too far off, but the original comic book series tells a much different story for these two. In the comics, these two are much more alike than you could have ever thought. The Boys is a very dark tale on superheroes, if you hadn't guessed that already. In the original comic run, the world is even more bleak. Terrible, shocking things happen to the Vaught superheroes as well as the Boys' crew. All the death and destruction that happens from the conflict between these two groups comes to a head when Homelander truly snaps in spectacular fashion. At this point, it's revealed that Vaught International always had a contingency plan in the situation that Homelander were to go dark side, and that plan came in the form of Bleck Noire. Noir was created by Vaught for one reason and one reason alone: keep Homelander in check. Noir was always around waiting for Homelander to slip up bad enough that he could take him out, but the opportunity never presented itself. So he started looking for ways to make it happen. It turns out that every bit of blackmail that showed Homelander doing the most heinous acts was in fact Bleck Noire. That's right, Noir is an exact clone of Homelander. In a rare moment of clarity for the American flag-wearing hero, he realizes that all the terrible things he thought he had done were caused by Bleck Noire, and he stole his one chance to become a true hero. What ensues is a very short battle that sees the utterly psychopathic Noir come out on top, barely hanging on to his life. Billy seizes the opportunity to get his great moment of revenge on Noir, being the reason for his entire hatred of Supes, as he finishes Noir off in utterly brutal fashion. At this point in the Amazon series, the show has differed a lot from the comic books, so it's hard to tell exactly what way they'll be moving with the story. In the comics, for example, the titular boys are superhumans themselves, having taken Compound V, so there's a lot more direct conflict that happens between the boys and Vaught superheroes than there is in the show. And it also seems clear at this point that Bleck Noire is not a clone of Homelander, or at least not a very convincing one. For starters, Bleck Noire has shown to be one of the more compassionate members of the Seven, oddly enough. He's been shown to even have a genuine care for children, as well as crying in the hallway when he learned about Vaught creating lab-grown superheroes. He also has a fierce loyalty to the company and the Seven, and has never went against them.
Not you, Noir. You've been great.
At least as far as we know. Another funny bit of trivia is that his greatest weakness seems to be almonds.
Was that an almond joy?
which Queen Maeve uses to defeat him as he's fighting Starlight. The scene does show something important, however, as when Maeve leaves his mask up, we see a scarred and disfigured man that looks nothing like his comic book counterpart. While it's not impossible that Bleck Noire is a clone of Homelander in the Amazon Prime show, it seems unlikely, as he has been made into less of a blank slate than he was in the comic book, and what we have seen of him doesn't line up with his actions in the comic either. As of right now, it's unclear what route the show wants to take the superhuman ninja, but with how many liberties the show has taken from the source material, it seems unlikely that they'll recycle this plotline, especially when they've done so much to give Noir a unique, albeit very reserved character. Homelander and Bleck Noire may not be clones in the show, but I'd still love to see them trade blows. The boys have had some great fights, and Noir may be one of the few Supes that could really give Homelander a run for his money.